Bored with leading a peaceful life, Knuckles decides to abandon Sonic and his friends to embark on a dangerous journey with Wade, and ends up attracting the attention of new enemies. Today, we're recapping the first season of the series Knuckles, released in April 2024. On Planet Mushroom, after being tricked by the evil Dr. Mustache, Knuckles came to Earth in search of a magic emerald and started a fight with Sonic. After a few clashes, the pair settles and teams up alongside Tails to defeat Robotnik's giant robot. The team recovers the emerald and ends up saving the universe doing so. The trio becomes friends and roommates as well, living with Maggie. Since the galaxy is no longer in danger, Knuckles' only mission is to relax and enjoy the comforts that Earth offers. However, Knuckles can't be satisfied with this peaceful life and is always looking for action. Knuckles struggles to adjust to home life in Green Hills due to his warrior lifestyle, which even affected Maddie's plans to have her house rebuilt after Dr. Robotnik's attack. Taking Sonic's advice to make himself at home too far, Maddie grounds Knuckles. After soliciting advice from his deceased echidna elder, Pachacamac, Knuckles takes up Wade, who was recently kicked from his bowling team, for the upcoming tournament at Reno, Nevada, as his apprentice. Wade decides to let Knuckles accompany him to Reno for the tournament, which Knuckles thinks is a fight tournament. The duo begins their trip, and the moment they leave Green Hills, they are tracked by two corrupt GUN agents, Mason and Willoughby. They intend to capture and sell him to the mysterious buyer, a former subordinate of Robotnik, who supplies them with weapons configured from Robotnik's technology and powered by Knuckles' quills. Meanwhile, the pair arrives at a bowling club. Knuckles realizes that the place is quite different from what he had thought, but it doesn't take long before he realizes that he's good at bowling too. Wade also confides to Knuckles that he loves bowling. He was deserted by his father at a young age, leaving him with abandonment issues. The pair continue with their game, and are interrupted by the GUN agents. Using a ring portal, Mason and Willoughby appear to battle Knuckles. He defeats Mason, but Willoughby takes advantage of the distraction to trap Knuckles in a cage, and they escape. Mason and Willoughby take the captured Knuckles to a cabin bar to await rendezvous with the buyer. Armed with a pair of Mason's weaponized gauntlets, Wade comes up with a plan to sneak in and rescue Knuckles. Though his plan fails, with his squad car being destroyed in the process, Wade outsmarts the agents and saves Knuckles. They find a truck to use to escape, with Wade teaching Knuckles that not every victory needs to be righteous. At daybreak, they learn from the radio that Wade has been branded a fugitive, so Knuckles suggests finding a hiding place, and Wade reluctantly decides on his childhood home as a place to lay low. Wade and Knuckles take refuge at Wade's childhood home in Boise, Idaho. There, they receive a warm welcome from Wade's mother, Wendy, and his older sister, Wanda, who happens to be an FBI agent. While Wendy eagerly prepares for the family's traditional Shabbat dinner, Wade feels disheartened due to the persistent mistreatment he endured from Wanda during their upbringing. As tensions escalate within the Whipple family that evening, Knuckles gains insight into their customs from Wendy. Meanwhile, Wade withdraws to his room. Unexpectedly, a group of bounty hunters, informed of Wade's wanted status and the reward for his capture, launches an attack on the house. Fortunately, with Knuckles and Wendy's combined efforts, they successfully fend off the attackers, leading to a moment of reconciliation among the Whipple family as they observe the dimming of the Shabbat candles. The next morning, following the Shabbat dinner, a confident Wade decides to go out for his morning coffee, and ends up being captured by a mysterious biker, who drags him through the streets of the neighborhood. Knuckles chooses not to rescue Wade, deciding to use the experience to teach Wade independence. Some moments later, the biker stops and Wade realizes that he has been captured by Jack, the leader of his former bowling team. Jack uses a stun gun to immobilize Wade, and proceeds to lock him in a cage. Wade wakes up furious at Jack's betrayal and begs Jack to release him. Jack reveals his financial struggles to Wade and his need for the reward money to offset his debts. While on their way to the police station, Wade comes to the conclusion that there's nothing he can do but await Knuckles' arrival to rescue him, but Knuckles calls and Wade finds out that he won't be able to count on Knuckles this time around. He has to go through this challenge alone. Wade is advised by Knuckles to visit the Great Battleground in the sky for guidance. Wade successfully visits the afterlife, which takes the form of a bowling alley, where Pachacamac teaches him through a low-budget rock opera of Knuckles' origins. Wade comes to learn that a warrior's greatest strength is their heart, allowing him to escape and challenge Jack to a joust. Jack loses most of his hair and falls to the ground, which makes him submit to Wade. He also hands over his jacket to Wade as a sign of defeat. With newfound confidence in himself, Wade and Knuckles continue on to Reno, now joined by Wendy and Wanda. In Reno, Knuckles and the Whipples make their arrival, leading to Wade's confrontation and reconciliation with his estranged father, the famed bowling celebrity Pistol Pete. As Wade's bond with his father appears to mend, he advances in the bowling tournament, ultimately facing off against Pete in the finals. Meanwhile, Mason and Willoughby are forcibly brought before the buyer, who grants them one final opportunity to capture Knuckles. Observing the bond between Knuckles and Pete, Wendy cautions Wade about the inevitable disappointment he may face from his father. When Wade visits Pete's rooftop penthouse, he discovers Mason and Willoughby holding Wendy and Wanda hostage. It is revealed that Pete betrayed them to prevent Wade from participating in the tournament. With his family's safety on the line, Wade must devise a plan to lure Knuckles into the penthouse, where Mason and Willoughby lie in wait to ambush him. Having been secretly tipped off by Wade while in the elevator, Knuckles avoids the trap and fights the agents, while Wade sneaks into the penthouse, through the stairway, and frees his family. Knuckles defeats the agents by redirecting a pair of ring portals that suck them away. Wade proceeds to the tournament to challenge his father in the finals, while the buyer confronts Knuckles outside the tournament using a giant mech suit. Wade rolls a perfect game to defeat Pete, but they are interrupted by Knuckles and the buyer's fight. The buyer catches Knuckles and drains him of his power, but Wade stands up to him, holding off the buyer with the help of his mother and sister. When the balls run out, the buyer seizes the opportunity to attack, but just then Knuckles rises and seizes the robot's tentacles, drawing all the energy back into his body. After regaining his powers, Knuckles then dismantles his enemy's tentacles and, with Wade's assistance, ultimately crushes him. Pete attempts to flee with the trophy, but he is subdued by Wendy and Wanda, as Wade and Knuckles celebrate before heading back home. The end. If you've enjoyed this recap, do subscribe for more contents from us. Until next time.